Now to the ABC and a reminder of what it does with your money. Speaking truth to power, producing hard-hitting current affair shows, or this.
Because of your Tamil heritage, I've gotten you a mango tea.
Love it.
With mango jelly and mango popping pearls.
Stephen, I got you this bubble tea because obviously it's green and it's got rainbow jelly.
I've gotten you a tiger milk tea.
And the jelly, it's the colours of the Aboriginal.
Yeah! I wanted to get the healthiest option, so it's matcha. It's also the closest colour to teal that I could get.
The Canberra Bubble Tea, as the ABC describes it. In the lead-up to the 2022 federal election, the ABC's senior digital video producer, Jessica Mendez, had an idea for a new show for Instagram and TikTok, Canberra Bubble Tea. Riveting stuff. The premise was simple. Burst the Canberra bubble and spill the tea with first-time politicians over a cup of personalised bubble tea. What drew the newly elected politicians to Parliament from their past lives? How do they work? And what makes them tick? And who are their friends and foes? And most importantly, how much bobber could they handle in their bubble tea? I really wish this was just a send-up, but no, you're paying for the ABC journalists to have personalised bubble tea with politicians and talk to each other like they are besties. As for the questions and subject matter, well, you judge for yourself.
Do you think the government's doing enough for climate change? What's it like being an Aboriginal woman in Parliament?
How many hours a week would you say you are here on average?
Have you found a bestie?
You're young, you're a Liberal, you live on the mainland.
Correct.
You're practically an endangered species. Any plans to relocate to Tassie? As a person that's part of the LGBTQIA+ community, what's that been like being in Parliament?
And if you thought that was cringeworthy, get a load of this.
I love this picture because of the symbolism to me. One, the Prime Minister's there and you can see in his face, that fatherly impression is there.
And how's this for a sneaky little promo?
The voice means a lot to me. I understand what injustice is like and I get quite emotional when I talk about it because I can't bear the thought of this referendum not passing.
And I can't bear the thought that we're paying for this. The Canberra bubble inside the ABC thought bubble, more like it. Daisy, they do a lot of good work for some of their bigger programs and they do break a lot of good stories. The thing that always irks me with the ABC is when they spend money on this trivial dribble. What are your thoughts?
Oh, well, look, I must say I prefer it to that hour of pre-coronation television, but that's really
a step up, is it?
That's a step up at least, but that's still not setting the bar very high. God bless them. Look, my thought is who are they actually pitching to in order to watch this? I mean, they said it's for their social media platforms, so I'm thinking, are they thinking of targeting younger viewers? But I don't know, my knowledge of, Generation Z, I don't think they're going to find that particularly interesting. It's like they're trying to cater to them with like the bubble tea thing and the social media, but it's just sort of boring and kind of beige and as you said, sort of like an ABC kind of urban thought bubble. And I guess my question is like, what's the point? If it's the taxpayer funded broadcaster, you need to have kind of a point for spending money on things. And I can't see this. Like they got bored one day and thought, let's throw money at this and see if it works. But just strange decision making.
Sophie, Daisy's right. It's not that it's incorrect or that there is something inherently wrong with it. It's just objectively boring, and it's bad in the sense that it's not journalistic. It's not challenging these politicians. It's not provocative in its questioning. It's just very asinine and boring.
Well, Jack, this is the problem that you face when you drop a barrel load worth $1 billion to the ABC annually. This is how they're looking at spending money. And, Jack, I would suggest perhaps they invest in proper content and interesting content because their digital numbers, as we saw in the federal budget this week, are about 5 million down annually on what they hope to achieve. Their radio ratings are free fall fall downwards. And they have a real issue with audiences. So if they're going to put out this trivial rubbish, then expect people to tune off. And I think that's what we're seeing. So I would be thinking they could spend their resources far better than on content like this.
Well said. And they are doing a restructure very soon, so we'll see how that plays out. But I want to take us to America now, where Donald Trump has made a return to CNN. Have a look at this highlights from a town hall.
Breaking into the Capitol, smashing windows, injuring police officers. Why did it take you 3 hours to tell them to go home?
I don't believe it did. Oh, let me pull it out. I have to pull it out. So if you look at, on January 5th, the day before, I said, please support our Capitol Police and law enforcement. They are truly on the side of our country. Stay peaceful. Stay peaceful. This was the day before, and this was in the form of Twitter.
What's the answer?
Do you mind?
I would like for you to answer the question.
Okay, it's very simple to answer.
That's why I asked it.
It's very simple to, you're a nasty person, I'll tell you.
Can you answer why you held on to the documents?
I was negotiating and we were talking to NARA.
Now, Daisy, CNN is copping a lot of flack for even having him here there by people on the left. What are your thoughts?
Well, on the subject of CNN having him there, I am actually really enthused by the fact that they even decided to put this on. We know what CNN is like. It's full of the worst kind of anti-Trump wokies you can imagine. And my favourite thing was watching the boss of CNN, Chris Licht, trying to juggle the ratings bonanza that this was for CNN. 3.3 million viewers tuned in, which made it the top-rated program of the night in America, which is huge for CNN because no one watches CNN. But he was trying to sort of placate his employers by publicly saying, look, it was uncomfortable for all of us to hear people clapping, but we missed it. They represent a large swathe of the population that we missed in 2015 to 2016. And I thought, imagine being the boss of a major corporation and having to placate your employees like children because they were so terribly upset that you had a politician on that they didn't like. But good props to him for having the guts to put Donald Trump on.
Well
very
said.
entertaining.
All scrutiny is good scrutiny, in my opinion. And Sophie, I'm really keen to hear your thoughts on a story from your masthead, The Australian. It was the front page today. This new Google AI, which appears to be putting a little bit of left-wing bias into answers. What's going on with that?
Oh, isn't this a really intriguing story, Jack, that, these AI services spit out, remarks that are basically in favour of the voice. That was one of the key takeouts from this splash on the front page of The Australian. That is a real worry, and artificial intelligence is a massive concern for democracy and for the media as well, because if they're going to spit out information under these AI, this AI intelligence, then I think people need to be very, very careful what they're reading because it's obviously very biased, and that is just one example in that story today, Jack.
Well said. Sophie Ellsworth, Daisy Cousins, thank you so much for joining me.